Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I want to show you a game where I just went 17-0 on an off-lane bristleback with 10 assists. The net worth graph is quite staggering. As you'll see 20 minutes in here, we are largely the top net worth. And I want to walk you through every single decision I make. So this is going to be a relatively long video. Get your popcorn, get your water, get your protein shake, whatever you got to drink. And I'm going to show you everything I do in this game, literally step by step, so you guys can copy it to the best of your ability and hopefully gain a lot of MMR. This is on my main account, which is currently 10,000 MMR. And so yeah, hopefully I can get you guys towards that rank. Also, I want to quickly let you guys know that if you want to become even more broken, what you should do is go sign up to the gameleap website. Currently, it is 50% off. So if you want to sign up, you're going to get exclusive content that I make over there, where I'm going to talk about the pro games that I play in DPC Division 1. I'm going to do analysis for those games. I'm going to talk about patch content, go over all the new builds that you can try. Also, what I'm going to do for the website is I'm going to play games and experiment with these new builds, kind of analyze those games, do live game analysis over there as well. So if you're interested in that type of thing, use code RANK50. I'll repeat that, no spaces, RANK50 for 50% off. Use that when you're checking out. 50% off right now. Click the link down below and I'll see you guys there. At level 1, what's very important to understand is first off, I buy a lot of regen. I'm against a Jakiro Void lane. I expect to get pressured quite a bit here. I don't actually end up buying mangoes. Usually you'd have to buy mangoes. Typically I would buy 2, but in this lane I don't do that. And the reason why is because I have a coddle. But getting into the first wave, one thing I always do on Bristle right away is practically Quill. And the reason why you want to do this, you want to Quill right away, is you want to build up stacks of Quill in the early wave to make sure you can last hit. Your hero, while it has pretty decent base stats, it's like very underwhelming if you do not build up quills. Now you might be like, oh, but this is a waste of mana, or oh, you're not harassing your enemy. You should not be playing Bristle to win the early waves in terms of damage. Can it happen? Yes. If the enemy grieves and just tanks like 5 quills in a row, you can look to pressure them. But those quills should all hit the creep wave as well, and you should be shoving in the wave. Now, the only time I don't do it is if the wave is under tower. For instance here, because I quill the wave so hard on the first wave, the second wave naturally is going to be under the Void's tower. It makes sense, right? And that one I'm not going to quill, and the reason why is I can get the lane back towards my tower. This is going to give me some tower regen, a little bit of armor, and just the ability to overall last hit pretty easily. As you'll see, I'm going to be able to get all of the CS because, well, almost all of the CS because the Jakiro cannot zone me out here. The next thing I do as well is I send my courier to the secret shop at around minute 130. And obviously, if you have really good CS, you're able to get your Ring of Health around like the 2-3 minute mark, probably more so around the 3:30 minute mark. And this is the timing you should be aiming for in most games. Now, I know a lot of people might think this is weird. It's like, how can you go build like this? Don't you need to put pressure? Shouldn't you buy a stick? Well, you can buy a stick in certain lanes. If you're against like PA, you could buy a stick. But for the most part, you want to be getting this Ring of Health as soon as possible. Once again, I'm gonna repeat this. You do not play this hero to pressure early on. If you do that, 9 times out of 10, you're just gonna end up feeding in a decent amount of your games. Like, it's just how it's gonna play out because your hero doesn't have a great way to trade. Like quills, they take a long time to build up, right? It's just how it is. So instead I play around the fact that I have a salve, 6 tangos, I play for every single CS, I basically contest every single creep, and eventually, because the enemy starts going on me here, I'm gonna do some damage just naturally with my quills, because I have so much HP regen I can trade. But if you go greedy and buy an early soul ring, like so many people do, you just end up dying at some point. You're not gonna be able to put the pressure that you want, or you're going to end up dying. And as I said, you do want to buy mangoes in some lanes because the mangoes give you HP regen and the ability to pressure. You want to pop the mangoes as late as possible to get the value out of the HP regen and go from there. Also with level 2 quills, this is when this ability gets relatively good, and you'll see me use it relatively frequently. I didn't use it here because the wave was pushing in, right? The wave was shoving into me, so I don't really want to shove it out and put it in deny range when I know it's going to push into me because they had like many more creeps than I did. And as you can see, I'm going to once again ship my courier to the secret shop when I'm about halfway to my item. This is obviously the Vanguard in this case. And now with 25 last hits at the 5 minute mark, actually almost more than that. Yeah, we're going to probably have 27 here, 28. I'm going to be able to get my Vanguard around minute 5:30. And this is when you can really look to put pressure. And that's the key. Once again, I cannot stress this enough. People do way too much, way too early. And as a result, they can't actually pressure on their timing because their Vanguard timing sucks. Or they have, no HP or they're dying. But now that I have Vanguard, you're going to see my playstyle is going to be a lot more aggressive. I'm going to go from just kind of slowly quilling in the wave and playing for every single CS, even though I still do go for every single CS, to looking to side pull, right? I understand how strong I am. About to hit level 6, so I side pull. Unfortunately, Jakiro got off a pretty big pull here, to getting aggressive on the Jakiro, right? I hit level 6, immediately look at the change of gameplay. You see how different it is? And this is what it takes to be good. Like, I cannot stress this enough. This quick shift or very notable shift in gameplay is really important. Most players are kind of just random with their gameplay. If you watch replays, you'll be like, wow, I'm really random. Like, sometimes I'm just randomly hitting the carry through a creep wave. I'm randomly losing 100 HP, and it's gonna grief your game. Now, keep in mind, I did ask for stacks this game. This is why Caudal Bristle's just so freaking good. He can give you mana early on, easily create double stacks for you, and when you leave the lane to jungle, he can take the lane very comfortably. Unfortunately, he died there, but he can take the lane very comfortably, and you can really look to get huge. And of course, this is when Bristle just can pop off. This quad stack, I think Caudal triple stacked it. I hit it with the quad. I ship it a south, and then this is big for me. So I'm level 8 now. I'm like, look at my level to the void. Oh my god, that guy is a kill as well. He's 1-0, and I'm like almost 2 levels up on him. That's crazy how much those stacks get. Ancient stacks are so broken, guys. If you're playing like Timber or Sand King or Bristle, and you can take these stacks, you should. But I go for treads here over Soul Ring. Mainly, once again, because I have this Caudal, but I'm a huge proponent of early treads if you're snowballing. If you get off to an early start on Bristle and you're playing offlane, you can look to put pressure. Because I don't want to like just full jungle. When I have this Vanguard, I kind of want to bring attention to myself. Like, look, I have 1500 HP and I'm hitting for 230. Like, I really do believe in this attack speed. I'm even on Agi treads here to give myself just, more attack speed. I feel like it's better to have the attack speed when you're hitting for 200 than 10 extra damage on strength. And you'll see this play out here. The Void's going to chrono my Caudal. Whatever, he gets that kill. Actually, does he get that kill? Yeah, he gets it eventually. Oh no, he doesn't. And he just gets chunked down. I mean, look at that damage. We just burst through. What is Void? I think Void is like 10 armor or something like that. So he has like 10 armor, and this team fight, just look at the damage, just chunking through them. Nearly a triple kill for me. Unfortunately, I got like all the assists there. But I'm not even close to low on HP. We dominate the team fight, take the tower. I'm level 10, 11 minutes in. And you can see how if you can execute on everything I'm showing you here, it's a very formulaic sort of domination, right? Good CS early on, relatively passive gameplay, quilling the waves early on, right? Not shoving in the waves when they're already pushing into you, right? You got to let the waves come in, so you got to be very quick at identifying that. But if you get that down and then you get the stack from your support, you know, it's big. And I know a lot of people are going to watch this and be like, I don't get stacks, blah, 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 blah. I mean, yeah, it sucks because the stacks are really key for a hero like Bristle. They really do enable him to pop off. I will admit, I'm not going to say that, you know, it does suck. I agree. You can whine a little bit, but you still should be winning the lane. You still should be hitting a 5-minute Vanguard. You still should be able to farm your lane infinitely. Sure, you might not get stacks, but because you're not taking those stacks, you should be able to pressure the safe laner a bit more on your 6th time, because I did give up a bit of pressure on the Void to actually amp my own game for a period of time. So you can just play more to shut down the carry. Now, this is another big play in the game. I go mid here. Basically, they're looking to pressure my tower. I'm like way too strong to let them do this. You know, the main thing though is I push in the bot lane as far as I can before TPing, right? I push this in, and the reason why I TP is I understand that I'm just way too far ahead. Like, it's as simple as that. The Sekiro is pushing up really far, so I TP out of vision. Keep that in mind. I TP behind the trees there, and I quelling through. And now I'm just gonna run this guy down. Juke the ice path, God Gamer, and yeah, just gotta kite out a little bit. Also keep in mind I bought a hood. Now, you'll see in most pro games, they're gonna go like Brown Boots, Vanguard, and Axe. I honestly am not a fan of that build. I think if you are gonna go that build, you have to really play around just like farming. You cannot get aggressive until you really have the Axe, which is how the pros generally play it. But if you're gonna get aggressive and you're gonna play this hero like I am, which is like defending towers and looking to skirmish, I really think you should be buying treads and a hood. I think going no treads, you can't click. You literally have no attack speed. It's so sad considering you hit for 240, 250. You want attack speed, and you'll see I'm just gonna really look to put pressure mid. I also pick up a wand here, which is just like the best fighting item in Dota. The only item I don't have, which maybe you could argue I could buy, is like raindrops, but I have the maxed out just skirmish build. And you'll see in a moment, they're going to try to take a team fight into me, but I'm able to easily pressure this mid tower, right? Nearly take it. Do end up getting chronoed, but obviously I'm not going to die. You know, I'm fine. There's 5 heroes around me. Look at the void. Oh my god. I'm currently hitting for 300 damage. Did take quite a bit of damage from the tower here, but the hood plus the wand, if I didn't have this right now, I would be like 100 HP. Actually, maybe I'd be dead, frankly. And it really is a big difference. I also have a chip vest, so I got like, you know, I am kitted. I'm level 13 and a half at minute 14. Oh my god. And I really do believe it largely comes down, I mean, obviously the early game efficiency, but understanding my spikes. I wouldn't force that mid tower, like I wouldn't play that aggressive if I was behind. If I had a bit of a bad start, I would more so focus on staying bottom and just killing the small camp, killing the wave, killing the large camp, killing the wave. After I take mid tower here, I go back bottom. Basically, I just wanted to chill till my ags now. I still can fight, like if they go too far, I'll fight. For instance here, they're going crazy on my CM, so like, okay, I'll show up, you know what I mean? Like, I'll look to get a kill. Unfortunately, don't get anything here, so I'm back to the bottom lane, looking to hit this next ags timing, because Bristle, he does get kited, right? Like, it's hard for them to kite me when I'm just taking their tower, and they have to like run past me, then they can't kite me. So that fight is like very favorable for me, because I'm so far ahead. But now I just want to kind of wait till my ags. So we farm it mid here, 17-minute tri-core item, you know, this is as good as it gets. This is literally practically the best possible game you can have. And what I do with that is I know I'm so far ahead that I can just force the Roche. This ends up going kind of bad, actually, kind of. I guess they knew because they hit us with quite the wombo combo. Thankfully, once again, because I have all these stats, we're able to live through it. But our Aegis does get stolen. I get dropped really low, but it was, you know, to no avail. They have to end up fighting into us, and that's the thing. You know, this is why you can force fights around these timings. This is why roshing on your ags is so powerful, and you'll see every good Bristle do this. It's because you wanna make the enemy run into you. You don't want to like chase them around where they can like, you know, TP out and get back to their towers. You want to force them to run into you and run into all your heroes and just kind of deathball from there. And the only reason why I go back to farming briefly here was my Tiny and Puck are dead, so I'm not looking to overforce. A lot of players would make the mistake of kind of just getting in over their heads and being like, oh my god, I'm so powerful, I'm so strong, I'm gonna 1v9, and then they dive at tier 2, die, and their whole game gets thrown off. Your timings are just ruined. So instead, I'm chilling, right? Just kill the camp. I shove in their mid wave, hit the tower a couple times, get some chip damage, nothing crazy. Clean up the camps, back to the mid wave after. Find Jujikiro, clean him up, right? I mean, this is just a convenience kill. I'm not diving any tower. You notice how the positioning on that kill is very clean, right? It doesn't put me out of position or in a dangerous position at all. Now I head to the bottom lane. Mid tier 2 is the most dangerous tower I could push at this point in the game because the enemy team can connect to it very easily. They don't have to necessarily TP. Because, you know, usually you're close to mid, or the enemies are close to mid. So instead, I just go bottom, clean up the wave, kill the tower. Once again, keeping the game very clean, very simple. You can see our net worth is slowly rising because of how fast my hero farms, and because Tiny's farming the triangle, Puck's cutting the mid wave, and we're just kind of farming up a storm. I do sort of look to go mid here, but what I felt at this point in the game was that the only way we throw is if we dive mid and we get chronoed in a Macropie or Snapfire ult. Because if we do that, the Void can TP in and they can get off their abilities. But I told my team, you can see the line I draw on the map here. I'm like, go up. Go away from their towers. Go to the places in the map where it's hard for them to synergize. And this is a very high skill move that you're going to see pros do quite a bit. And it's very effective. We go on this Void here. My Puck barely lives. Shout out him. We just chunk through the Snapfire, 4-tap him. I think we don't end up catching the Void here, unfortunately. But we do end up catching the Pango, and you can see, you know, there's no response. They chrono, but it's in a position where they can't really follow up on it too well. As a result, the Puck lives. I'm able to easily kill the Snap because he's not underneath the tier 2 tower, and we have a 22-minute BKB due to a little bit of patience and an understanding of what towers are safest to take. And then you can see it's all the snowball effect, but all these decisions are very calculated and you know, just intentional, right? It's not very random gameplay, which is kind of the key to obviously winning consistently. But at this point, you know, when it comes to calculated, this isn't that calculated. This is me kind of just being a little bit ahead, kind of just run in, little casual triple kill, run out. It's what you'd expect from a level 20 Bristle at 23 minutes into the game. But the reason why I go BKB instead of like a Sanjin Kaya Hooded Defiance build is I just honestly think it's way better. I think the impact is just way higher, to keep it simple. when you go Treads BKB, you can actually solo kill people and force, and you can be a problem. The problem with the other build is you can kind of be ignored. You're kited relatively easily. Where with this build, it's very, I mean, you can't be ignored. You're hitting for 400, right? You're hitting for 400 and you're slowing them in an AoE. You can't be ignored. So yeah, I think this build's frankly just better. Like, I think there's almost no situation to go the Spell Lifesteal build, I'll be honest. It's too easily countered by Spirit Vessel, so which they have. So yeah, I'm very anti the other build, frankly. We'll take another fight here mid. At this point, I'm going for AC. The main timing here is level 25 with AC. You just chunk. I mean, you don't even need the 25. But at level 25, you take the Warpath damage. It's like a rapier in damage. I think it's literally 300 damage with max stacks. What is it? It's 250 damage with max stacks. Nearly a rapier. And yeah, at this point of the game, it's looking relatively donezo. I don't have too much to say here. Kind of just run at the closest target. Like, literally, that is what I do. The reason why you run at the closest target for the most part is because you don't want to get kited. If you overextend, that's how you die. But if you run at the closest person, it's very unlikely you're going to get kited. You're going to also body for your team. A lot of people don't understand this. I did a coaching session a long time ago, probably a couple months ago now, where I was coaching a Bristle, and he would always run for the sniper in the back and like not kill the sniper because the guy had like a shard and a force staff. And I'm just like watching his team in the backline die, and I'm just like, all he had to do was just kind of run at whoever's closest to him, and he's gonna create this wall where his backliners easily can play the game. The Cuddle's gonna have a free time to do whatever he wants. The CM's gonna get her spells off. Tiny's gonna get a clean jump. Puck's gonna get a clean jump because you're providing vision, and you're also just kind of bodying for the enemy. You're also preventing the supports, which are often the control, from getting to the backline with your positioning. But all right, that's gonna be all for today's video. This is quite the beatdown, so I want to share it with you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.